Alright, so this is a Poblano flower that I've already started emasculating. Now with a Poblano flower, the calyx tends to be a little bit thicker. So I try to get rid of a lot of that, even more with the Poblano crosses when it's the fruiting parental plant. Alright, so we've got that removed. I'm just going to show you that, you see the anther at the tip. You always want to rub that, check that for pollen. Make sure it hasn't popped out. That's your filament that connects it to the base of the petal. And together that's called your stamen. We've got your stigma here at the end. That's your receptive part of the female organ or pistil. Together, the ovary, the style, and the stigma make your pistil. So we're going to try to pollinate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to look over here and see if we have any ripe flowers. And that is really nice and ripe. So we'll go ahead and pluck this one. And as you can see from looking at the leaves of this plant, it is homozygous for variegation. I'll pull that off. And all I need to do is take this flower, pull the petals back a little bit, and then I'm going to go to hit that right here. Now if I don't want to knock the pollen off and I want to do a better marking system, or different, it may not necessarily be better. Sometimes you can knock the style off this way, but I will show you another method. I cut that just like so, and then I like to go up here, especially for a Poblano. I may not have even made this big enough for a Poblano, but we'll see. Crap. Well, we'll redo that one. All right, let's try this again. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then there we go. Slide that in, make your incision. Pop that, make that little piece there. And then I like to label these things. Typically I'll let these dry a little bit before I put them on there, but for the sake of the video, I will not. So that's A1, A1, like that. Down. Removing that calyx completely, or the majority of it, makes that easier to slide on. And then I'll slide it right up here. Now, it doesn't matter if I grab another flower from the same plant or not, but it's all going to have the same random gametes in it. So these are the pollen granules at the tip. Try to hit that, and then I like to roll them around and see if there's a lot of pollen. If there's not, it means it's probably matured and dried off on it already, which it still may work. But what I do is I'll go up here, I'll grab another flower, try to get one a little bit that's more fluffier, and then I'll do it again. And it doesn't matter that it's a different flower on the same plant, it's still the same genetics. Just like same dad. Alright, now that, you saw that dust fly, that's perfect. So we've got that one done. set this here. And what I can do, so I'll come over and I'm just gonna hit this one real quick. We can see it's already marked. And real important when they're open like this, you check for those anthers. So I'll come over here, look at my anther, that's that dark piece again, rub that, nothing's coming off. The filament keeps it attached to the petal. We pull that off, we can look at it a little bit better. But nothing, so we're good. But not necessarily, you gotta check them all. Well, you can also simply tug that whole flower part off, but I have to take the calyx off on this sucker if I want to mark it really good. So there we go, we check that again, nothing. Then I'm going to make my incision, put that back, slide this, oops. There we go. Perfect, just like that. Then I'll make my little V cut here. The bigger you make that, the easier it is to slide on usually. And then if you want to mark it, this is also going to be A1. And I like doing the videos also because if you can't read your writing, you got a video you can go back to and look at. If you lose a marker, just seeing the placement on the plant, a lot of times it'll help. Another thing that helps is if you only use one pollen on a plant, then you know that every cross is the same. You can do that if you have multiple plants. All right, so there you see how that slid right on. I'm going to pull that back. That stigma can actually grow a little bit. Sometimes you can pollinate them early, which is what I'm going to try to do. If I can find my flower, and if not, I'll see if I can find another flower. Let's see. Here we go. Sometimes, even if I have another flower from the same plant, here we go. That looks good. And then when I'm pollinating, when it's white like that, I like to take it and just rub it one more time, see if I have any pollen. And that's perfect. So this is 9 February, and I've marked this A1, so I know exactly which plant it came from, A1.